And just relax, but keep an alert mind. Fix your mind on your breathing. Just like on your desktop, you may notice that during a work day or a creative time, you have a lot of windows open. In the background, it's running, using up a lot of energy. Same thing in our minds. We have various projects, concerns, anxieties running. Let's shut those down the way you'd shut down all the windows and just come to a blank screen. We're not human doings, we're human beings. The word to be means that which remains. When everything else changes, we're always there. And we're always being maintained by a super intelligence that's guiding us. So we're never without help. There's plenty of resources in the world. Body is a complete system. For now, all we have to do is breathe. Relax, but keep an alert mind. And now move your awareness to your body and just notice that there are sensations in all parts of your body, and conceive of your entire bodily frame as one whole that's vibrant with life. Because we're inside the body, it's animated. Just like a stained glass window, when there's no light, you don't see the colors. But as soon as you shine light through it, it comes alive. Same with this body. It's a dead item until we enter, and when we leave, it becomes dead again. The body is transitioning from one physical position to the next constantly, from the time it's in the womb till the time we leave it. But we're always the same. We never dwindle. We never die. Always here as a witness to what's going on around us. Now try to notice that you can witness your breath, your body, and your entire life situation the way you would watch a movie. Feel yourself separate, aloof. You're the one watching, not participating. And think, who's the one watching? And then answer, I am. And be aware of your own power of awareness. Notice that you can be the witness, the one who notices. And that you're aloof. Nothing can harm you. And keep your breath steady. And now think of one thing that you're grateful for in the world. Person, someone who has done something for you. And observe that energy of gratitude. And hold it in your heart. Now bring your awareness back to your breath. And before you open your eyes, be aware of how miraculous it is that you can do all these things that you're doing, that you just did, and that you can point your attention anywhere you wish. You have free will. And say the 3 syllables Om Tat Sat. O-M-T-A-T-S-A-T. Om Tat Sat. Open your eyes. Come back in the room. And welcome back. Thanks, everyone. So today we're going to talk about the law of dwindling intent. It's also called diminishing intent. Dwindle's an older word, was more popular hundreds of years ago. Even the use of the word dwindle has dwindled. That's why I like it so much. It stays true to itself. One of the concepts of dwindling or diminishing I learned when I studied accounting. And there was a section that we had to study about accounts receivable, debts that needed to be collected. And the teacher gave us a formula about how the longer you wait to collect a debt, the less likely you are to collect it. Yeah, it's true, Wolf. It's an algorithm. And there's a way in which our good intentions may or will necessarily dwindle over time. That's why it's a science to be aware of. That's what we'll be talking about tonight. But it's also good news for those urges that visit us almost constantly, demanding that we go look at something, we taste something, we say something to someone out of anger, whatever it may be. Those also have a shelf life. It means that if we learn how to procrastinate or neglect those urges, they'll also dwindle in due course of time. This is one of the great arts of being equipoised. So what do you think, J.M.? Should we go right into a few slides? Nah, we need to warm everybody up. One thing you're grateful for. We need 4 expressions. Did you conceive of something that you feel like you want to share, or do you have something that you're grateful for you can report? I'm going to count down from 5, then I'm going to start calling on people, especially those who don't have their camera on. Okay, 5, 4.
Janki came on. Go ahead, Janki.
Okay.
Yeah, I think when you said, when we're closing our eyes and you said, think of one thing that you're grateful for, I think today what came to my mind is my husband. Sometimes you take your relationships for granted, and sometimes the person that's closest to you and is always taking care of you and always picking you up when things are not wrong or you're going through a bad phase, you take that person for granted. And sometimes, so today I just felt like I'm so grateful that God, that you've given me a husband who's very patient. So I just wanted to share that.
It's almost the antidote for taking things for granted is to invoke gratitude. It's really nice, Janki. Thank you very much. There's a few more coming on the board here.
Yes.
Things are percolating.
We have Nirja saying God, Rakesh saying grateful for good health, Monica saying community, and Sharon saying so many things, my kids, my boyfriend, my job, my extended family. Liji saying I'm grateful for my family who are always there for me. One common thing which is mostly it's about people. I'm still waiting for things. And Radha Krupa says daughter. Oh yeah.
Adam said he's grateful for the 30 semi-truck loads of topsoil delivered by Caltrans to my farm for free to grow more strawberries in.
Wow.
Well, Adam, let us know when you plant and we'll ask ChatGPT when they're going to ripen and we'll all be down there around that time. Fantastic. Thank for the satsang and my family and opening to learning every day. Excellent. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, Nirali, thankful for this. Oh, satsang, that was you. Okay. Let's start off then. I have a passion for this topic. Always appreciated it. And first thing is that I'd like to know from you, have you ever strongly intended to do something important, then watch that intention slowly evaporate? I'll read it again and just think about it. Have you ever strongly intended to do something important and then watch that intention slowly evaporate? Can you think of a time when that happened for you?
Manish said yes. Sharon said no.
Come on, details, people, details.
Radha Prabhu says every day.
Can anybody give an example? Care to share? Anything you had a strong intention? Nirali said, yes, sleeping on time and wake up early intention is there. And did it slowly, the strong intention slowly evaporate at some point? Asta said the gym. These are classics.
Yes.
Okay.
So tried very much, and then you sleep late, and then you don't wake up early. So it
Yeah, not so easy.
sometimes it worked, and sometimes it didn't.
Very hard, unless you move into an ashram where
Yeah.
when I first moved into an ashram, I remember I was traveling and staying in an ashram in Los Angeles where all the monks, the brahmacharis, slept on the floor. And I remember that their system was there. You'd feel the mop going by your head if you were still lying there. Go ahead, JM.
Yeah, there are a few more. We got Lijay saying, I always want to chant 16 rounds but fail to do so.
16 rounds, that's a insider thing. If those people, some don't know, has to do with mantra meditation. There are beads you chant on, and when you go around this whole string of beads once, it's called a round. So 16 rounds is a good healthy dose of mantra meditation every day.
Nirja says many times. Satya, control reactions and unneeded emotions.
Yeah, control reactions and unneeded emotions. Those are definitely, and I think the idea of controlling them is a lot easier than when they come up. So we definitely need to have preparation for that so we can deal when they come.
And Kautuk says, I was planning to clean my car 2 months ago. Unfortunately, I have not done so until today.
Which means that you haven't done it yet. Slight difference between how we say it in India or we say it in America, that until today, sometimes it means in America that I did it today, because until today, but in India, I'm pretty sure it means, Kautik, that you haven't done it yet. Right?
Yeah. Kautuk.
Okay.
Next is Sharon.
He's cleaning his car. He can't answer right now. Go ahead.
Sharon says, I am very much into my intentions and I believe that being positive and giving them my best try is success.
Nice. I like that.
Manish says, I want to write some realization based on learning, but I can see that fade away.
You know what really helps is to always have your notebooks open. I never leave home with, you know, I have to have a place where your ideas can land. This doesn't even have a brand name on it, or that's why I recommend it. But have a pen and pad always ready to go. Go ahead, JM. Don't get me started on that.
Mariana says, driving in unknown places. And
But you had
Vidya,
a strong intention not to do that?
Mariana?
No, I need to drive. I relocated and I'm supposed to drive and I'm just totally scared and try to do it and I just don't do it.
Okay, got it.
Vidya says, strongly intend to get healthier, but slowly lose the motivation as energy drains.
Okay, these are good examples. Everyone who's offered some thought on that has experienced that attentions can come and go. So let's look at the next slide. Here's what dwindling intent is. It means the weakening of clarity, conviction, or enthusiasm when action is delayed. So inspiration, when we get it, is valuable, but it has a shelf life. It means you can be sure that it's going to wear off. And the longer we wait to act on it, the less likely we are to act on it at all. So that's good to consider when we have a good intention. Have you ever thought of somebody out of gratitude, and then you thought, maybe I should tell them? And you think, well, I'll do it tomorrow. And then a week goes by, and then you just don't do it. What a difference it would have made if you had actually mentioned it, just offered a word of encouragement or a thought. It could change somebody's life, actually, one thing, at the peak of your intent. Otherwise, it goes down from there. Okay, let's look at the cycle. This is scientific, as it turns out. You can measure it. So here we are on the far left, that inspiration arrives. Who here has ever noted the appearance, the arrival of inspiration? Let me give you a definition of inspiration so we're all on the same page. Inspiration, the process of being mentally stimulated to do or feel something, especially to do something creative. The quality of being inspired, especially when evident in something. And let's see where it comes from. Inspirare, inspire, comes from into, inspirare, breathe. As if you took in a breath and you got a surge of energy, inspiration. So we've experienced that. And then the delay. See the little hourglass down there? Time is destructive for those who don't take advantage of it. And this is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam also. As far as spiritual practice goes, and we'll get into that a little later, when you take advantage of each day to the best of your ability, then you're banking something important. But every day you forget to do it or you put it off, then it's a day when you're losing ground. And your intention for that, whatever that might be, the arrival of the intention comes, the delay enters, and then you see the curve starts to move to the right or continues to move to the right, reaches its peak. And there we have it, number 3, alternatives multiply. Many other things come in. This is in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, Vyavasayatmika buddhir eke hakuranandana bahushaka hyanantascha buddhayo vyavasayinam. And that is that if you don't act on your intention when it's there, then your intelligence can become many branched. And you see those little branches underneath the 3? You got other ideas, other distractions, other roads to go on. And you can't be ekha, one-minded. And then it starts to go down. Your conviction to do it weakens. You think, oh, maybe it was just sentiment. Maybe it wasn't a good idea after all. And then the opportunity closes. I didn't tell you this, but I looked at the word dwindle, and it sheets back to Germanic, and the linguists say it comes from Proto-Indo-European, from a word that means to die. Dwindle. The first part with the D comes from a word in Proto-Indo-European which means something dies. So, like a fruit, you leave it on the vine too long, you miss the opportunity. And then the fruit dwindles and then it dies, falls off the vine, rots. So it's good to be aware of the cycle, right? Say yes. Okay, anybody who said yes, please tell me why you said yes. Besides that I badgered you. Why is it, helpful to see this cycle and keep it in mind. By the way, there's no talking today. I forbid anybody to come off mute and speak anything. Except for Nurali. Go ahead. Nurali's frozen. Somebody said something.
Yeah, Mariana asked, what is DI?
Dwindling intention.
Radhakrupa has hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just thinking it's good to understand the whole cycle, because unless you're aware about it, where to interject and make the corrective actions, we may not even know that there's a possibility. So I just think the whole process is very helpful to understand that I had a good intention and how does it die and what those steps are. So at least somewhere in between, I need to be proactive or maybe conscious enough to make sure that I kind of consciously react to that one to implement what I was thinking.
Yeah, nice. You have a graphic understanding of how it's moving, that it's an algorithm. It's moving in a set way. I have that chart I've shown before in previous meetings we've had about the inverse relationship between emotion and reason. The more emotional we become, the more our reason plummets. Goes like this on the chart. And if we have this idea of the arc of intention, how it builds a little bit and then it loses momentum and it goes down, then we'll be aware that there's a science to it and we can act on it. Was there anything else?
A few more. Adam is playing nicely with the words. He says, better to win dull than dwindle.
Yeah, I like that. I was looking up the word windle when you said that, and I realized that it was your new word that I hope you register somewhere. Okay.
And then Satya says, able to correlate with graph. And Nirali is, of course, having some network issues.
Well, in Old English, winan means to strive, to contend, also subdue and take possession of, acquire. It's also of Germanic origin, Germanic. So win means to strive, contend, subdue, take possession of, acquire. Means take advantage of the opportunity. Okay, so we've got a graph. That means we're dealing with a science. And then let's look at slide number 6. Here's the why it matters. Always good to ask the question why, right? Definitely. It's a metaphysical question. Life is temporary. Now, this sometimes seems to be an uncomfortable truth. However, embracing the truth will set you free. And knowing that there's a beginning and an end, and life is temporary, tends to bring us to a more efficient state, and we have more clarity about what we might want to do. For instance, when people become acutely aware of the end of their life, for instance, they might get a diagnosis of some kind saying, here's how long you probably have. They become a lot more thoughtful. Why not become thoughtful now by remembering that there's a beginning and end to the lifespan that we have? Why not? Okay, this opportunity that we have is rare. It's extremely valuable. In fact, Chanakya Pandit, who was a logician, he once said that time is more valuable than gold. Gold coins, you can get them, you can lose them, you can get them back again. But time, once you've spent it, you never get it back. This life, this body, has what's called an ayu. Ayu means lifespan. We have a lifespan. And it's a rare opportunity. It's not nothing. It's not random, but it's an opportunity. So if we don't take advantage of the time we have, then we'll be pulled away in many other directions. Put as it is on the screen, if you don't occupy your time, the meaning there is with those things that are important, then distraction will take you away. And as it says at the bottom, if I don't decide what belongs in my life, distraction will decide for me. It's another kind of decision by not deciding what's your priority. Mariana said you can simply be. And be means to exist. If you trace it back far enough, it comes from, as I said during our meditation, a word that means that which remains when everything else changes. Okay, so now I'm going to give some tips. Ready? And I hope you're all paying attention because there's a quiz today. Don't be alarmed. It's anonymous. Okay, here we go. Tip number 1, act immediately in the smallest form. Means when you get some inspiration, when you have something that's important, meritorious, don't leave it in concept form. That's why I always carry a place for my thoughts to land. Because I know that if I let them go, then they'll fly away, maybe never come back. And one idea can change your whole life. Especially if you have an inspiration to do something that's meritorious. So never leave it. Inspiration in a concept form means don't just let it float in your mind. Convert it into behavior. One of the ways to convert it into behavior is to act on it right away, or at least write it down and capture it. And do it before the feeling fades. I'm going to go back to the example I gave before. What if you suddenly thought of your favorite cousin? Does anybody here have a cousin? Even I have a cousin. It's kind of amazing. I still have a cousin. Even I have a cousin. I don't have 52 cousins. I think I just have 2. And now let's just say you thought of your favorite cousin and you thought, what a nice person this cousin is. I'm really grateful. And what if your cousin lives in a faraway place, like let's say Crowley in the UK, small little town in the middle of, not too far from London. And you were on a different time schedule and you thought of your cousin, you thought, what a nice person, they've done so much for me. What if you act on it right away? Somehow or other you sent a text and said, thank you for all you do, for being in my life, etc. What do you think might happen? And what's the difference between that and just letting the idea fade? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, Manu, how many cousins do you have?
20.
52. Huh?
Yes. Maybe 52, 20 as of now, I remember.
Okay. That's a lot, 20. So can you play out a scenario if you were going to write a script of what would happen from A, you say you express how you appreciate the person, and B, you just let it go.
So I think like if there is an instance, if we appreciate like immediately, you can see that the person is their response is like they become happy and they become grateful. And also like the appreciation should be from the heart, not like just for the sake of it. And then say if someone has done an act of kindness on us and then we don't appreciate, um, then I think there is also a feeling that we have taken some favor and then we are not responding.
That's another angle. And as Samskruti has put up here, if we talk to that person and share how important they are to us, it deepens our relationship with them, our bond. And just one word that somebody wasn't expecting, your cousin in Crowley or wherever they may be, and you let them know, then suddenly there's a deepening of that bond and relationship just from that one act, that inspiration you had, appreciation, you acted on it right then, right? Nice.
And it can deepen our bond with human connection. It's not just like reaching out to that person, not in a selfish way, but it's good for us to reach out. Like we're on our phones and our computers, and it's like, oh, we send Instagrams and we send this, but do we actually make a connection with that person? So to me, it's also about the connection you have with another human. And then it also brightens their day and you deepen together.
Isn't that amazing? It's the one thing when you give something, then it also increases your stock. Monica, go ahead.
Hey Krishna Maharaj, I just got back to Wi-Fi at the ashram, so I
Oh,
I apologize. I can I think a little bit more.
yeah, totally. I just thought you came on camera. A lot of times that's a signal for me.
Oh no, driving and
That's it. Okay, no problem. Fantastic. Yeah, I really like what you said, Denise, because there's a way in which when we act upon the inspiration in the moment, rather than letting it dwindle, that we're also filled up with that same feeling. It's as if by giving you grow. You grow deeper in your bond with the person, and that sense of how important it is to appreciate things. Whatever you appreciate appreciates in value. JM.
Yeah, there are a few on the board, and maybe I can share a story of mine too.
Oh,
Uh,
good.
when I was young, we used to go to my grandmother's village, and every night, my uncle or mama, as we call in India, he used to tell us stories of Ramayana and Mahabharata every night for a couple of hours, kind of, through entire summer. Um, and that was formed a lot of my nature because I was really inspired by those stories, and especially character of Ram and his nature. I was very inspired by, and a lot of my actions, etc., are guided by those stories and what I learned. When COVID happened, unfortunately, my uncle was affected by COVID, and he was in hospital. And I had a desire that, okay, once he returns, I will thank him. Like, I still think that he had a big role to play in sharing those stories and forming my character. But unfortunately, he did not come through. He passed away, and I really felt bad. So it's just a moment lost, and that I should have expressed my thanks to him for inculcating those. I'm thinking maybe I should at least speak to their families and express that I had that desire, but I missed to convey to him. But at least I can tell to him that how uh, critical his stories were in forming me and guiding me. So I can very much resonate with what you're saying. Timing is very critical.
Wow. Yeah, that's a deep story. Thank you very much, JM. And I'm sure others of us have had that experience when you thought of it and then you thought maybe later never came because the person's gone. So having a system where we act on those things as soon as possible can really change the way we interact with the world and with other people dramatically. You said there's a couple on the board. Let's hear
Yeah.
those.
Satya says they feel happy and they get encouraged to do more.
Yeah, there's a means of management which goes like this: encourage the heck out of everybody. Catch people doing something right. It's from a book called The 1 Minute Manager. I read it in the 1980s. It's about how when you're managing some project, if you take a moment to encourage people when they're doing something right, then it immediately lifts up their spirits. They feel encouraged, and everybody around them feels encouraged to do better also. So taking that opportunity. There's another one, Jam.
Yeah. Sanskriti says, the Prabhu I talk to in India often says to me when I say I will do it, tomorrow he says, tomorrow comes tomorrow.
That's almost like a Buddhist koan. Tomorrow comes tomorrow. Yeah, so the thrust of this is act immediately. Take advantage of it before it hits that cycle and it starts to diminish and the opportunity goes away. How about if we lived like that? Okay, let's look at a couple more, Jam. Now, that last slide, number 7, talked about act immediately and do it in the smallest form. So you don't have to do anything grand. When you have inspiration, it's something powerful to share. And even if you do the tiniest, make the tiniest gesture or take a step in the direction that you were thinking about something creative, you started it somehow. Do it while it's there, while you feel the inspiration. Okay, so we have tip number 2. This is called applied procrastination. You can now, in major universities, you can major in this. Just like there's mathematics, there's applied math, and this is applied procrastination. So don't postpone the important thing. Postpone the distraction. Postpone distractions. Uh-huh. Yeah, there's this comedian, what's his name? Mulvaney or something like that. He's an Irish fellow, very well dressed, interesting character. Does he has it caught my eye. The title of one of his performances was about how canceling certain things was like a kind of intoxication, just stopping them. So canceling the distractions can be a kind of great inspiration in our lives. Just think about how metaphysical that is, that we have free will. We get to be observant, like we were at the beginning of this hour, of what's going on inside us. We may notice a distraction. Now, if we're not prepared for it, we can just get caught in it and it pulls us away because we're tiny and the environment we're in is vast and powerful. It can pull us in any direction. And you see perfectly good people getting pulled into things that they wish they hadn't, right? And we feel it ourselves sometimes. So if we're prepared, that is, we've studied, we've majored in applied procrastination. We took not just the undergraduate course, but we got a master's and a PhD in applied procrastination. I'm going to get a diploma. First, I got to earn it though, and I'm going to put it on my wall. Well, what'd you get that in? I got magna cum laude in applied procrastination. In fact, I think the next time somebody asks you about school and what you studied, you can tell them applied procrastination, but do it with a completely straight face and just wait till they answer you and say, really, what is that? Then you can tell them about this session we had today. So don't postpone the important thing. I'm going to read it again because I like it so much. Postpone the distraction. So notice today, this is homework. When you're doing something that's purposeful, that is high on your priority list, that's important and urgent, but then there's a little urge that you get for distraction. Let's list a few things that could distract you. First of all, let's say you have a letter that is due to go out today, and it's important you get it right, as you want to make a good impression. And then you sit down to write it. What possibly could distract you? I want 5 examples so I feel better about my own life of ways in which you might be distracted from finishing the letter in a timely way. The phone. Now that's a novel idea. Okay, a cat. The cat could do that. Oh, a little kitty. Okay, and then Manu said a kid needing immediate attention. That's definitely going to be there if you have a kid. And WhatsApp. It makes a sound if you have your notifications turned on. And thoughts. What kind of thoughts could distract us, I wonder? All kinds of thoughts, right? I mean, if we started on the A's and then went to B's, C's, and D's as far as distraction goes, let's try it that way. All A's now. Just put any distractions that start with A, making it harder. This is an IQ test too, by the way. Not to put any pressure on you, but
Nikki,
anger relatives. Okay. We could go through the alphabet. Alarm. Yeah. Alligators. Alexa. Anxiety of writing it perfectly. Yep. All distractions. So what's our tip? Our tip is postpone the distraction. And how would you do that? Here's the way. Listen to this language. I got this from my very good friend and godbrother, Satyadev Prabhu, who just became a professor in China, by the way. Good to know. He wrote a book and they gave him some kind of special status. Let's see. Applied procrastination. Let's put it up again, JM, because it's got some tips about how to do this. This is the cheat sheet, the crib notes, the chat GPT quick answer to applied procrastination.
I
I'll
would.
just tell you because we lost the deck. It's
Oh,
gone somewhere. It disappeared.
deck is not there.
Oh, it is. I just expanded the screen so I could see everybody. No, I lost that. Okay, so hacking the start. Say, I'll scroll later. So this is there's these three concepts: thinking, feeling, willing. Things unfold in our life from the platform of thinking, then we start to will it, and then we do it. So if you stop it early, what's the way to stop it? You use this, I'll do it later. And how many times have we said that for important things, right? Now just apply it to the distraction. And now hacking anxiety, I'll worry later. What do you think of that? I need an emoji. Give me an emoji for how you feel about this mantra. I'll worry later. Yeah, I didn't get any emojis. I'm starting to worry, but I'll worry later. Okay. I saw this character once, and he used to ask this question, will it help? So people would ask him things like, aren't you worried? And he goes, would it help? Aren't you afraid? He said, would it help? So I'll worry later. Will it help? And here's why I thought of my friend Satyadev, just for now. That's, I think, the title of his book, Just for Now. Just for now, do the right thing, just for now, because that's a way of prioritizing doing the right thing and putting the distraction on ice. Okay, let's go on to tip number 3. Fear the fade. Fear the fade. Now you can look that up. I think I coined it. If you can date it and find somebody else said it. Fear the fade. Most opportunities aren't lost in one dramatic decision. They're lost through subtle erosion. So not today, maybe tomorrow, after this week, when life settles down and there's a gradual diminishment of your intention, dwindling. And start thinking about it when the little intentional ways of putting off an important thing start to appear, and think, no, let me do the small thing I can now, don't put it off, because it's gradual. And those gradual, intentional actions that we do towards our most important goals are what bring us back up. In fact, there's a book called The Slight Edge. Has anybody ever read that? The Slight Edge. It's a great book. I mean, the concept in it is very similar to this, and that is the way we move in our life has to do with a slight edge, taking advantage of the small opportunities that we get. And the opposite is true. If we neglect to do the right things and we put them off, then the inspiration dies, we lose the opportunity. Number 4, audit your life for leakage. Now, I was just talking to a very bright young person yesterday who had gone through good university training and now is working in one of the corporations here. in the Bay Area. I took a few notes. She works in some kind of process management where it's a pharmaceutical company. They go through, she was telling me what her job was on a team is to write down every step in the process and then to time how long every step takes and then see how to close the gaps and how to improve resources. There's a systematic way. It's a whole department. And so they do audits to see constantly. That's their main job, to see how they can improve the process. So don't just take for granted that life is carrying you in the right direction or that you're doing everything that you can. And this isn't to become neurotic and overstimulated, but it warrants an audit. When I wrote my first book, the editors, not the editors, but the publishing company went through it and eliminated all the little gaps because there can be little gaps between one word or another or after a period and so forth. And I was surprised that you can save a lot of space in a 450-page book by just eliminating those tiny, tiny little gaps. What about in our lives? Where does my intent leak out? I don't need the word out. I'll just say leak. Where does my intent leak? What repeatedly consumes the energy I meant to give elsewhere? So if you make a list, audit your life, what are those little things or big things that drain your energy? They take away your attention. What are the distractions that are most likely to take away your time? So the morning audit, track your first hour of the day is a good way to start. What do you do the first hour of your day? And the intent filter is to identify your top 3 intent killers. That's an introspective duty. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Number 5, fill your mind with higher purpose. So dwindling intent grows when the mind is undernourished and overstimulated. I won't go into all the modalities mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna talks about how our mind gets affected by them, because you've heard me say that so many times. But when we take care of our minds and hearts by having a standard spiritual practice, well, I don't like the word standard because that can mean we're doing it by rote, but I would say that if we have a baseline that we keep every day, I put the first box for input. Hear transcendental sound regularly. What does that mean translated? There are very deep literatures that you can read that improve your mind and heart. The wisdom literatures like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, etc., the Upanishads, they give you insight into the purpose of life, remind you, otherwise we forget. And also taking time to do mantra meditation. I've talked about that before, but these are examples of ways to have this nourishing input. Visuals, keep reminders in front of you about what your main intentions are so they don't drift away and get filled in by other content. And make your purpose audible. So if you have a mantra, like my mantra, I keep everywhere, which is keep the transcendental vibration going, because there's so many decisions to make, aren't there? And many different alternatives. What to speak of, most of them are distractions. And therefore, if I have a mantra that keeps me on my baseline, which to me is KTTVG, keep the transcendental vibration going, then it allows me to have a refuge for my mind to come back. Yes, recenter, stay on track. So hearing and chanting in the practice of bhakti yoga, these are called shravanam, is hearing, and kirtana means chanting. So what we hear and what we say makes a big difference, and they lead to smaranam, which means remembrance. Okay, here's your DI exercise. Are you ready? Say yes. It's mandatory, otherwise James going to drop you off the call. Okay, go ahead, answer the Pole.
Great, but maybe
Can you share again?
yeah, you can just look at it and type it in the chat box.
One opportunity I have right now, one reason I've been delaying it, one distraction I usually obey instead, one immediate action I can take today, one later I will tell my mind when distraction comes. Oh, I see. It's not a poll anyway. It's just these are for your edification. So you have something a template to go by.
Yep.
I wonder if we can give him that template somehow.
Yes, I can share them.
It's a good template. One opportunity you have right now. Let's just work on that one. Can anybody think of one opportunity you have right now? The second one was one reason I've been delaying it. That's important. I've noticed this. Doesn't mean it's important because I noticed it, but it's important in any case that there's always some reason that we're procrastinating something. And if you can identify the reason, oftentimes it's something very small that you can overcome, but it often acts as a doorstop. So you really can't get started, even though it's a tiny little wedge that holds the thing down or from being opened, the door from being opened. And if you can identify what it is, then you can remove it. If you don't know what it is, there's just a general feeling of not being able to move forward. The third one is one distraction that I usually obey instead of doing what I want. It's good to know that. That's your nemesis. The next one is one immediate action I can take today. And notice that's in yellow. That means you better do it. And the last one is one later, I will tell my mind when distraction comes. That's good to have at hand. You could even tattoo it on your arm. JM, did we get any responses?
Yes, we almost got quite a few of them, so I'll quickly go through. First, Asta says reels, and then Sanskriti said, I keep doing other small things and procrastinating it because it is tedious. We can do it later to do at least one task on the list and work. These are some of the things she is taking away. And Nirja says, time my phone time. Wow, phone later. And then Pramila says, one unplanted tomato plant will clear some weeds prior to planting, keeping the plants hydrated. And this one, take out some of the weeds in the area to plant. And Adam says, scheduling appointment at tattoo parlor.
Adam, you're keeping us all vibrant over here. Okay.
And then Satya says, respecting priority list.
I like that. Respect the priority list. RPL, respect your priority list. Write that one down for me, JM, would you? I'm going to keep that one.
Yes.
I'm going to get a hat that says respect your priority list. Okay, let's see what else we got here. We got some one-liners for you. Memorable one-liners. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Delay is not passive, it's erosive. Don't postpone the sacred, postpone the trivial. Opportunity is perishable. Build your practice before something else gets built. And here we go with number 14. What opportunity do you have right now that may not feel the same in 5 minutes, 5 days, or 5 years? Take it now while the door is open. Strike while the iron's hot. This makes for an exciting life. And I've experienced that procrastinating those things which are important can feel debilitating. We get cognitive dissonance. We know we should be doing something, we're not doing it. The opposite is true. Taking small steps, even the smallest steps towards those priorities that we know we should do, not putting them off, acting on them to the best of our ability, someone said above. Really like that, to do the best you can with what you have right now, puts us in the flow of moving forward. And especially when it comes to nourishing ourselves every day, we also have to have what's called yoga balena, or spiritual strength. Otherwise, although we may have a good idea and know we want to do it, we may not have the strength to do it. When we get weak, anemic spiritually, our minds become weak and our intention becomes weak, then it's hard to act on those good ideas. So make sure that you have a nourishing spiritual practice in the morning. You have to take a little time to do mantra meditation. Also read and read, because just doing that, it's unique for humans. Your cat can't read, right, Lee J?
No, but I try to chant to her so that I just hear.
Yeah, lucky cat. So we're in such a good position as we can nourish ourselves. We don't have to wait for somebody else to do it. We can take advantage of it. Okay, we have 1 minute left, JM. Let's see if anybody has any syllable, mantra, word they want to leave us with. How did you feel? What did you think? What did you hear? You're taken away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.5.
Sharon says, good ideas and thanks. Go ahead, Nirali.
Yeah, I was saying, do it now.
Yes.
Whatever you're doing. Good thing.
Start immediately. Start with simple, tiny steps. I love that one too, Radhakripa. Panda, yeah, thanks for remembering that. I think that's among my favorite from today. Worry later. Are you worried? I'll worry later. Procrastinate, distractions. Thanks, Nirja. DI grows when mind is undernourished. Yeah, like weeds thrive in under amended soil. When the soil's bad, that's where weeds thrive. Respect the priority list. Yes, I need that hat. Applied procrastination, I need that diploma. How does it help? When we start to worry. Agentic procrastination. Adam, you have got the one-liners today. Here we go. Agentic.
It's AI agents, it's called. So it's more of AI procrastination. So multiple agents coming together and procrastinating it. So
Oh,
web of
that's
procrastination.
what agentic means?
Adam?
Agentic. I'm looking it up.
Yeah, agentic is a team of
Agentic.
agents coming together and working.
I see. Okay. Agentic procrastination. Well, thanks everybody. We stirred it up a little bit, I hope. And I feel inspired to move forward with little things. Oftentimes feel discouraged because you think, what's the use? There's so much, I can't do any of it. But we can always do the next most important thing. And if we do it right away when we feel inspiration, then we can catch a wave. It's like surfing. Take the opportunity when the wave comes, and who knows where it will take us. Right, Mayank?
Yes, absolutely.
Mayank appears at the end for a cameo, just so he can leave with a good feeling. Thank you very much, everybody. And I had a thought earlier. I was thinking about it because there's this ritual which is very deep, and it's a way of encouraging one another. Their phrase, Hari Bol. I know our friends in the Himalayas do it when they come out of their caves and see one another, and it means keep the transcendental vibration going. We put our hands up. I'm doing it. Haribo.
Haribo!
Thanks, everybody.
Haribol.
See you as soon as possible.